What's up, you guys? I'm Sean with Gym Class Finance. Today we're going to be taking a look at my stock portfolio, one of several stock portfolios, but this is one where it does primarily consist of individual stocks. There are some ETFs, index funds as well, but we're saving for a car that we're hopefully going to buy in the next year. We have about $13,000 saved, and a good portion of that is in ETFs and stocks. So stay tuned as we take a look at this portfolio. If you're new to the channel, I'm glad you're here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click that little bell so you get notifications every time we release a new video. That really does help the channel out. Also, hit that like button if you don't mind. That also helps the channel out. I typically invest in index funds, mutual funds, ETFs. This portfolio, as I've already mentioned, does have some individual stocks. And one other thing I just want to mention, I am not a financial advisor. This is my opinion. I'm just sharing my portfolio, trying to be as transparent as possible, and just kind of, hopefully we can learn from each other and just kind of share what some things that I'm buying. And one other thing to think about is, as I share my portfolio, I am either buying stocks because I think they're at a good price. The majority of the stocks in this portfolio have grown. I have bought some recently and they kind of have tanked a little bit, but I'll talk a little bit about that as we get further into the video. One other thing I was going to mention, and you can just feel free to do so. If not, you don't have to, but if you are interested in checking out Robinhood, we both get a free stock. So if you click that link in the description that I have, then we'll both get a free stock, and you can start to build out your portfolio. You can do it with as little as a couple bucks. You don't need to put a ton of money into this account if you're still feeling a little unsure. Robinhood has gotten a bad rap. Over at the Modest Wallet, I have done a review on the Robinhood app and kind of shared my feelings towards it, or as a representation of the Modest Wallet, and kind of shared our review. So go ahead and check that out as well. That could be helpful. All right, so I am live now in our portfolio. So if you notice, I'll be looking down just because I'm looking at what you're looking at on the screen. And so first, you can see that it is Labor Day today. So I'm recording this on Labor Day of 2021. Hopefully going to get that out later tonight. This video out later tonight. We'll see if I find the time to do that. But so you can see, I'll just go through the 1 week. Okay, in the past week, we're up $76 in this portfolio. In the last month, it's up $154. The last 3 months, it's up $507. In the last year, it's up 26%, and all time, it is up 36%. Now, that might not seem like a ton, and here's the reason why. I have been dollar cost averaging. So as I get some extra funds in our budget, I will throw it into this account. Now, I do have more, and this is our car fund. I do have more in cash. So we have a total of about $14,000 right now, somewhere in that range total. So this is just a portion of the entire portfolio or fund for eventually getting a 3-row SUV. I'm not going to mention what brand, we already have that in mind, but that is our goal over the next year or so, because our car is getting up in mileage, and we're going to need to update that. So let's keep going, and I'm going to just continue to share my screen, and you can take a look at what I'm seeing as well. So let's first get into it. I have my index funds / ETFs first, and you'll see those primarily because I just wanted to separate those from our individual stocks, which, as I've already said, I don't typically have an entire portfolio. Like, my retirement investing are primarily in index funds, ETFs, mutual funds. But for this, I did go with some individual stocks, and that's more or less just to kind of talk about it, have some things to talk about here on the channel about individual stocks. So first, VTI, Vanguard Total Market ETF. This is the entire stock market. It's a great fund to have. As you can see, we have one share, and we paid, just so we know for the rest of this video, an average cost of $160.78. That's what I paid for it. And the market value, or what it's worth right now, if I were to cash it out, is $234.31. So we have a total return of $73.53, or 45%. So that's what I'm going to show, just so I can kind of break it down so you can understand what we're talking about if you are new to investing. So I'll go back. SPHD, great, another beginner ETF for you to own. It pays a monthly dividend, which is kind of nice. Not many stocks pay monthly dividends. And the average cost, we paid $36.39. We have 4 shares of it. Total return is 22% or $32. Moving on to our next stock, TPHD, very similar. And we only have 1 share of that. It is up $8.98 or 40%. VYM, very similar once again as well. 1 share of that, we're up 29% or $24. ICLN, we're down on this. This was something that I bought thinking kind of maybe taking a little more of a risk in this portfolio. And that's fine though. I'm not concerned about it. It's a long-term play and we'll just see what happens over time. It is down. Our average cost is $28.06. The market value is $448 in that. And we are down 15% on that. ARK-F. As you can see, ARK FinTech Innovation. I do love the ARK funds. And we are up a little bit right now, up 6% on that position. ARK-K. We're up 8% on that position with those 2 shares. ARK-X. Space exploration, 2 shares of it, up 5%. ARK-Q. Autonomous technology and robotics. We have 3 shares of that. We're up 3% on that right now. So that takes you into pretty much all of our ETFs that we have. Now let's get into the individual stocks. All right, first for our individual stocks is BRK.B. That's Berkshire Hathaway. And I have 1 share of that. We're up 35% on that position. Apple, we have 4 shares of Apple. I do really like the Apple stock. And this is one of our better investments so far in this portfolio. We are up $359, which is a pretty nice number just to own 4 shares of something. And that's 139%. So Apple has done really well. More short term, but long term it's done really well as well. Uber, we are up 40% on this position, 2 shares. Square, you can see we are up 335% or $415 on 2 shares. So that's pretty nice stock pick that we made and we got it at a nice price. If you look at JD, this is one of my all-time favorites. This is a Chinese company, so some people back away a little bit, but we're up 145% on this position. I owned a ton of JD and sold out on it way too early, which once again tells you to be a long-term investor. Don't get scared of the market. AMD, one of the first stocks that got me into Robinhood. I've mentioned this before. I was driving an Uber and I was driving some college kid around. He was telling me about Robinhood and he was telling me about AMD, that he had put a decent amount of money into AMD. Wish I would have put more, but I did listen to him and we're up 890% on that position. I can only imagine if I would have actually invested a lot more into those or that stock. Eli or Callaway, it is, we only have 1 share. We're up 84% on that position. PFV or Pfizer, we have 5 shares. We are up 34%. That also pays a nice dividend. HDB, which is an Indian bank, we're up 51% or $104 on those 4 shares. RVLV, great company. Wish I would have bought more whenever it was only $15 like I did. That's up 283%, so it's pretty nice. Moving on to APLE. Now, this is not the Apple, the stock. This is a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. We are up 16% on that position. That does also pay a monthly dividend. Used to be a lot more monthly dividend before coronavirus, but that's okay. Good or Gladstone, another REIT, and this one's up 27% with those 4 shares. Glad, same thing, up 38% on those 5 shares. MRO, an oil company, we are up 60% on those 15 shares. MPLX, another energy company, up 31% on that position. It does pay a nice dividend. SiriusXM, that was actually a free stock. Someone signed up. And so you can see why it says average cost 0. So that one's worth $6.31. Moving along, American Airlines. we're up 73% on that position. Bought it in 11.21. JP Morgan, 1 share, up 59% on that position. Boeing, up 25% on that position. Walmart, up 12%. Target, up 62%. Sorry if I'm going a little too fast, but you can slow it down if you need to. I want to get through all of them. I have a lot of stocks. Bank of America, you can see, up 71%. AT&T, we're up 1.67%. Does pay a nice dividend. Workhorse, this is one that really dropped. They did not get the contract with the Postal Service, so that tanked as soon as they did not get that. I'm just decided to hold on to it and see what happens. Intel, we have one share, up 19%. Dropbox, 1 share, up 60%. JETS, I forgot to add this to the ETFs. This is the airline market. It's up 2.97%. Airbnb, another one of my favorite stocks. We are up barely 0.59%, 4 shares there. Switch, up 63%, $50. Procter & Gamble, and we're up 11% on Procter & Gamble. ChargePoint, up 33%. And last but not least, DD. This is one of my stocks to watch for July 2020. It has really dropped. I did not buy it at the right time. And so we're down 29% on that. I'm just going to sit on that, maybe buy a couple shares if it dips down to the $7, $8 range. But that is pretty much the portfolio. So there's a lot of stocks in that. As I mentioned, I'm just going to mention it one more time. I am a long-term investor, and so these stocks we've held now for a couple years now, and so obviously for my retirement portfolio, I'm going to be holding those stocks for a very long time because I'm not in the market to retire anytime soon. And also, I usually buy index funds, ETFs, and mutual funds, and a lot of these, or the majority of these, are stocks. I always recommend, if you are going to buy individual stocks, make it less than 10% of your overall portfolio. Same thing with, I know a lot of people are into crypto, and making sure that you're only buying a small portion of your portfolio. Some people have their entire portfolio in crypto because they are a believer in the long term, and they may be right, but it's just not something I'd be willing to risk. So keep those things in mind. If you found value in this video, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Click the like button as well, because that does help it out. Then you can follow along with the channel, keep up whenever I make new videos. I'd also love if you would subscribe to my other channel, which is called The Modest Wallet. I'll leave a link if I'm able to do that, so that you can also subscribe to that channel. That really does help out, and we can kind of stay in touch, develop this community that I'd really love to develop here on YouTube and all the other platforms that we are on. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon in the next video.